Welcome back to Art Together online from the Worcester Art Museum. My name is Liz, and today we're going to be reading the book The Water Princess, which is based on the childhood experience of Georgie Bedell. This is written by Susan Verde, illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. Then we're going to be looking at 3 pieces of art from the Worcester Art Museum collection. After that, we'll get to do our own creative project and head into our own studio space. All right, let's jump into the book. The Water Princess, based on the childhood experience of Georgie Bedell. I am Princess Gigi. My kingdom, the African sky, so wide and so close, I can almost touch the sharp edges of the stars. I can tame the wild dogs with my song. I can make the tall grass sway when I dance. I can make the wind play hide and seek. But I cannot make the water come closer. I cannot make the water run clearer, no matter what I command. It is early morning, still dark. My mother wakes me. Gigi, my princess, it is time to get up. We must collect the water. Water, come! Do not make me wake before even the sun is out of bed, I demand. Come, please, I say. But the water won't listen, and I know we will have to walk so far to the well. I am too sleepy to put on my crown. I think of the pot that will rest on my braids instead. The thirst comes quick, dry lips, dry throat. I squeeze my eyes shut. I see it clear. I dip my toes in it, cool. I scoop it up and bring it to my lips. Slowly, I open my eyes. Nothing. I kick the dust. I grab my empty pot and place it upon my head. My mother does the same, and our journey begins, full of song. My maman adds her melody. Our steps are light. We twirl and laugh together. The miles give us room to dance. Halfway there, we stop for a moment at the giant karité tree, long enough to grab a handful of sweet shea nuts for energy. We can keep the dance going just a little longer. Maman, are we there yet? Finally, I hear the water running from the well, the giggles of my friends, the chatter of women. Some have traveled farther than I, only to return home when the sun has gone to bed. Maman holds our place while I play with friends. The dance continued. The water is flowing. Pots filling with a dusty, earth-colored liquid. My turn now. Gigi. Gigi, come. Maintenant. My turn now. The dance home has slowed to careful steps. My thirst so heavy, like the full pot I carry. Our song is softer now. Our shoulders ache, our feet cramp. I see home at last. Maman boils enough water for drinking. We wait. We wash our clothes. We prepare food for cooking. My father comes quickly from the fields to share in the drink and the meal. He scoops me up. My princess, you have returned with the water. Drink, Maman says. Finally. Every sip fills me with energy. I want to make it last, but I can't. I gulp it down. Clothes and body clean, I sing to the dogs. I dance with the tall grass. I hide from the wind. Maman brings one last cup she has saved just for me. Drink, my princess. Sleep, my princess. Tomorrow we journey again. Maman, I say as I close my eyes. Why is the water so far? Why is the water not clear? Where is our water? Sleep, she says. Dream, she says. Someday you will find a way, my princess. Someday. I am Princess Gigi. My kingdom, the African sky, the dusty earth, and someday the flowing, cool, crystal clear water. Someday. I'm going to read this part of the book too. This is part of the inspiration for this story. Imagine your life without water. No kitchen faucet to fill your glass when you're thirsty. No shower or bathtub to clean your body. Imagine if you couldn't go to school because you had to spend each day walking for miles just to get water and not even know if the water you reach will be clean. This is true for nearly 1 billion people around the world. That's 1 out of every 6 who doesn't have access to clean water. This crisis is what motivated African model Georgie Bedell to work to make a difference and get clean water to those in need. As a young girl in Burkina Faso, Georgie spent her summers living with her grandmother. Every morning, Georgie and the other girls and women of the village walked for miles to fill pots with water and return it home to be used for the basics, drinking, bathing, cooking, only to wake up the next morning and make the journey again. Georgie knows firsthand the suffering and struggle of all those without clean water. In Burkina Faso alone, nearly a quarter of the population has no access to clean water. Both illnesses from contaminated water and the time it takes to collect water every day prevent many children from going to school. The walk itself is on average 4 miles each day, which is the length of about 70 football fields. The Water Princess is a story inspired by Georgie's own childhood and her wish that the water would come to her and those in her community. Together with Ryan's Well, Georgie is working to make a change and bring this basic right, this source of life, to the people in Burkina Faso and beyond. We hope this story brings awareness to the ongoing crisis and inspires you to be a part of the change. For more information about what we can all do to make a difference, we hope you'll visit us at ryanswell.ca and georgiebedellfoundation.org. You can even see photos here of the girls and women of Goundi, Georgie's grandmother's village in Burkina Faso, and they're taking the walk to collect water. They've arrived at the river where they fill their pots, and the water will still need to be cleaned before they actually drink it. And here's a girl who's carrying water home. Over here, the children at this school celebrate the first Water Princess well that was built by Georgie in partnership with Ryan's Well. And Georgie pumps clean water from this new well at the school. And the children in this place, they're playing with the water from a new well built by the Georgie Bedell Foundation. So today's book, The Water Princess, was based on the real childhood experience of a model, Georgie Bedell, and sort of brings you to where she was when she was a kid and what she dreamed of. And we saw at the very end, she was actually able to make a difference. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at 3 pieces of art from the Worcester Art Museum that also deal with dreams. And then we'll be making art projects about our own dreams for the world. First, let's look at the pieces from the museum collection. So here we have Fisherman's Dream. This piece was made by Hyman Horsager. In this piece, we can see that the fisherman is lying peacefully on the ground, it looks like on a beach. And above, we can see him catching very big fish. Now this, as his personal dream, might be for fun because he wants to catch really big fish. He thinks that they're fun. But if he's a fisherman, that means that his job is to go out and catch fish so that he can sell it to other people to help provide for his family. So perhaps this dream is also about being able to provide for his family very well. But it's also very fun. We have these really large fish in the front. They're jumping and swirling around. We can see he's even over in the right sort of top-hand side catching more fish. The second piece that we're going to be looking at is called Lucky Dreams of the New Year. And this is by Isoda Koriusai. This is a very tall piece. And at the very bottom, we'll sort of scroll. At the very bottom, we can see that this young woman has fallen asleep. And then above her head, we see sort of a dream bubble. And in it, we see a beautiful scene with a mountain in the background and a bird. It looks sort of like a landscape. And so she's probably dreaming, including special symbols for her wishes for the new year. They might be for prosperity or safety, comfort. So this is her dream again for herself. Then the last piece that we're going to be looking at is called Martin's Dream. This is for Martin Luther King Jr. and was made by Richard Foster Yard. This piece is a little bit more abstract. We don't have a sleeping person. Instead, we have symbols about Martin Luther King Jr., who was an activist and fought for civil rights and equality and equity for people of all different colors and all different races and all different backgrounds. Here we can see that the artist has chosen to use Martin Luther King Jr.'s hat in the 4 squares in the center, and then his shoes around the edges at the 4 cardinal signals, the north, south, east, and west of the map. He had created this to remember Martin and his dream, and to also honor the ongoing changes that need to happen in our world to make equality actually happen. So today what you're going to be able to do is one of 2 or both projects. We have a page in our PDF that you can print out that has a little bed on the bottom left, and it has sort of a dream bubble above it. So if you want, you can draw yourself sleeping in bed, and then what would be the best thing for you? What would make your world a better place for you and everybody in it? You can just draw your dream here. The second piece that we're going to be doing as part of this project is making a poster. Now, posters are great ways to share your ideas with other people. Usually they involve a little bit of writing and then also some drawing. So you can see here that this is my example poster that I did. It says Internet Access for All, and it says Internet Access at Home for All now. And I used sort of the Wi-Fi signal, the dot with the arches over it, and I used that to arrange my words. So posters are sometimes pretty simple, like this one, but they can be more complex. What I'd like you to do is think about a way that would make life in your community better for everybody there. And then you can create a poster to help share that idea with other people. Let's break away so you can see me working on my poster, just so you can get an idea of the process that I went through. First, I did some sketching, and then I transferred it to a final page, then I colored it. So come on, let's break away and you can see the process. watching that process of me creating my poster here. And we'd love to see your posters. If you could share them with us on Facebook, you can use the hashtag WAMArtTogether. Or you could message them to us in Facebook or Instagram. Well, I hope that you enjoyed The Water Princess, written by Susan Verde, illustrated by Peter Reynolds, and based on the childhood experience of Jordy Bedell. I hope you enjoyed looking at the 3 pieces of artwork from the Worcester Art Museum, and I really hope that you enjoyed thinking about how your community could be made a better place, and then either drawing your dream or making a poster for it. All right, until next time, stay creative.